Everybody, Will here. Maybe you don't recognize me. I got cleaned up all nice. Yeah, the wife's back from her big adventure, and I guess one of her colleagues was reviewing my videos, and then I mentioned something to her. So look at that. Look at that. That's the professional in her. She got it all patched up real fast, even though she was tired and jet lagged. Anyway, love you, honey. Yeah. So yeah, I want to talk about. I know it's been a bit of time, but the last comedy night, the open mic was at the last time where I was just watching stuff that was going on. Yeah, it was really cool. I kind of missed some of the first stuff because I was like just talking to people in the lounge. Some real neat people there. But then the Dirty Mike one, I usually do. I was watching that, paying close attention to the competition. So yeah, it was a weird night. Not a lot of college kids, which is what usually is, but like guys and some couples and stuff, like older folks, not too old, like my age, not that old. So that was interesting, right? It was different vibe. But there was these two guys, and they were real. I wish they interactive with the comics, because when the comics, like you ask a prompt or something like this, like, hey, anybody from whatever, and then you get some feedback from them, and then you work that into your act. Well, there was one guy who was like pretty vocal about it, and I started this. A guy started to get this feeling that maybe he was like what you call a plant, like one of the comics that brought him in to like make things a little more exciting, because he starts harassing this one comic, and that comic just kind of falls apart. That's okay. It happens. It's tough to deal with. And then this other guy steps up. This guy who's been there for quite a bit. He kind of looks like Ryan Gosling, but if like it was Ryan Gosling for radio, if you catch my drift. But he's kind of funny and stuff like this. And so this guy is like stepping up for his buddy, his other fellow comedian, and like is calling out this heckler. And here's the thing: this heckler literally steps up. The guy does like a backflip or like a cartwheel to the stage. I kid you not, like a freaking circus performer. And it's like they're just doing back and forth this banter. And that's why I think it was maybe a setup, because it was like so cool. It was really different than what I was expecting and that I'd seen before. So that was cool. That was cool. It livened things up a bit. The booker was a little on edge on things, and he was just like sitting and like emceeing from the table, but he was kind of tired. But then this other guy, this new guy comes up, and at least I think he's a guy, and he gets introduced. But he looks like a guy, but he's like dressed kind of like colorful. He's got like a little crown on his head, and like some buttons and cool shirt and stuff like this. But he's introduced as a princess, like Princess K or something like that, Princess Kevin, and then combat philosopher. He was like had some cool title. It was really fun. And then he like his open is like this. He's like looking for the richest guy or wealthiest person in the club. And guess what? He calls this out. Nobody steps up. So he's like saying, like, "Oh, I'm the richest guy. That's a problem." So that was kind of funny. And then he calls for a volunteer audience anyway. And there's this like real nice lady in the back, and she comes forward, and he like gets a chair for her, like he's giving her a seat, and he gives her like this little crown for her to wear. So like, and then he introduces her as like a queen. So I think it was a setup. But then this guy starts talking, and now I'm getting worried because he's talking like how everybody wants somebody to hate, and everyone's looking for a minority to beat up on, and then he says he's found a new secret minority that's okay to beat on. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Okay, we're gonna punch down again, I guess. I thought this guy was gonna be cool. He's gonna punch up or something, punch down. And I'm just gonna tell you that nice lady was black. I'm real friendly, so I was like feeling real bad for her. But then this guy switches it around, because you know who he says he's found is the best minority to beat up on? Rich people. He says rich people, and if you need the racist component, find white rich people to like spit on and stuff and piss. Like he's just going wild about like being disrespectful to the rich. And I'm like, okay, this is funny. This is some funny stuff. And then he says this cool thing about like, and again, I think he's gonna punch down, right? Because he's like, what do you call a person who just collects batteries, like electric? I gotta have one around here someplace. Maybe I don't. Anyway, so who collects batteries? What do you call that kind of person who just collects batteries and like uses batteries to make more batteries? Blah 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 blah. I'm like, that's usually called a hoarder, and that's usually a mental illness. So I'm like, please, buddy, like it's the open heart. Just don't get so crappy. I don't know. But then he's like, that's what you call billionaires. Because he's like, money is like a battery. When you do work, you turn it into money so you can save it and then use that money to do other stuff. But these rich guys are just like, they're just like putting all this money in a box that's not doing anything except make more money. And then eventually they're gonna die, and there's just like a box of money for no, for nothing, to do that's done nothing. Like, I mean, like if they did something like cured cancer, or like gave everybody food, like everyone would be like, this guy rules, this guy's we're gonna remember his name forever, like in a good way. Like you remember these rich guys did their names in bad ways. So it was really cool. I like and it looked like the booker really got excited by this guy's talking about this stuff. And he was like really banging on. It was pretty. I'm gonna watch for this guy because he was pretty cool. So yeah, wasn't what I expected. Like I said, a colorful character. I thought he's gonna be a problem. And then that lady, the queen, he said, they go and sit together. So there was something funny going on there. I think that was cool. Like that's a good idea. Like a duo. Like if you got a support person in the audience, then you always know someone you can trust. Unless you don't trust them, right? But yeah, you would probably trust them. Anyway, oh yeah, so yeah, we're working on a game again. We started this up here. It's getting pretty epic. Been squared it off, a little bit of shots fired, as it were. But one of the cats got on here. We had to like reset things. The dark one of our cat. We got two cats. We got one that's dark colored and one that's striped colored. And they're not supposed to be in here because like there's all the tools and stuff. It's a little bit risky, but they got in here. And I guess they wanted to play a game. They thought those little guys were fun to play with. Maybe they're imagining like they're giants, and how I wonder if they look at us like that. Like when we play with them, like how do they know that we're not really gonna try to eat them? Because I mean, like they play with their toys, or if they catch a mouse or something, then they'll like play with it in a wild way. Boy, I wonder if they think the mouse is having fun. Because it doesn't look like it. You know, someone's having lunch and it ain't that mouse. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm excited to tell you those guys. I can't wait to go back to the club. I hope that princess guy is there because it was fun. And that black lady was very fun too. And that circus guy, I didn't get his name. I wish they would have said who he was because he had some skills. Let me tell you. Okay. Yeah, that's about it for me. Yeah, the wife is home. We're gonna probably go out and do a dinner or something like that. And like I got all cleaned up for her. I don't care how I look for myself, right? You know, I don't even get to except when I'm looking at this thing. So yeah, I'll be back later. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go again. Just go to sit. Maybe I'll perform. You know, but this Christmas time and I'm tired and doing stuff with the kids is like wearing me down, so to speak. So got to get some rest. So yeah, you guys rest and have a good day and a good night and good dreams, I guess. Like I'm not tucking you in or anything. Just let it. You know, I'm just trying to like cover all the bases. So yeah, as I like to say, nobody calls me Iggy. But my friends do call me Will, and I will tell you more stuff the next time I see you. Okay, bye bye.